Hi there. I'm using an older version of Photoshop intentionally because this way, doesn't matter what version you have, it all works the same. Of course, first you would go up to File, New, and of course if you have the newer versions, they have things set up the way you want. You can click inches here. We're going to set it to 8 and 8 and 300. And I'm using RGB and the background is white. You can change that. Okay, we put it in. Now, the main thing you gotta learn to use in Photoshop is the layers. This is the whole thing, is layers. If you understand layers, you'll have a great time. Alright, first of all, we're gonna fill in. If you see this bucket, you click on it and you get the gradient. If you see the gradient, you got the gradient. Okay, if you click here, you get a color, any color you want. You just click and change. Oops, I guess you can't see that. Let me put this over here. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, this panel comes up and you just pick a color, any shade you want, and you click OK. Click the bottom one, and again, any color, any shade you want. And it shows you on top, which makes it very, very helpful. Click OK. Up here you can go in different ways. This is linear, this is radiant, this is gradient, and so forth. I'm just going to go like this and drag. As you can see, I went from one to the other. Okay, now we want a new layer. I'm going to click layer here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click up here. This is the rectangle marquee. If you notice, if you put your mouse over and just leave it there, don't click, you can see what it is. If I click, I get a choice, and I'm going to give it, I'm going to drag, and I've got a rectangle. Now I'm going to change the colors again to a green. Okay. And to a darker green. Okay, I'm going to excuse me, I'm going to drag in the same direction because whoops, I forgot to, you got to be careful what tool you got. I need my gradient tool, but it's good for you to see it because you're going to have the same problem. Because of light, I want to drag the same way. A little bit more like that. Okay, there we go. To get rid of the dancing ants, and it makes, if you draw now, in fact I'll put another layer so you can see. If you draw now, let's get the paintbrush, not that paintbrush, we want this one. If I draw now, let me just click that, gives me the colors. I'm going to pick my brush. If I draw now, I can't draw past those dots, just so you know. Okay, Control Z undoes that. Control D gets rid of that, and now I can draw any place I want. Okay, I'm just going to draw real quick, go straight, well, sort of straight up. And we're going to do it here too. And I'll just fill it in. I don't have to be perfect. Now, why did I do that? Well, why do I have different layers? I keep clicking on this and getting a new layer. The reason I'm doing that is because anything I do when I erase, guess what? It doesn't erase underneath. If I click on this layer and go like this, I'm erasing under that layer. Control Z undoes the last thing you did. If I go on, click on this layer, I erase that layer, Control Z undoes, and I'm going to draw back in. Now I'm going to do this pretty fast because I don't want to make this a long video. A little bulge. Okay, so I can erase, I can do anything I want. In fact, if I use my eraser, I can click here. Let's click here, hold down Shift, and it erases everything in a straight line. Let me show you so you can see it. It's going in a straight line. And that's how it erase and draw. By holding down shift, you get that. Okay, now I'm going to make my tip smaller. I click up here, make it smaller, and now I just make sure I don't want my eraser. Oh, I did my eraser. Control Z. See, it's okay to make mistakes. And we want to make this smaller. Okay. And we'll make it smaller yet. And we got it smaller. Now, I'm going to change my color here to a green again. And I'm going to change the other one to a dark green. Okay, I'm going to go up here, and if you scroll through, you're going to find one that has a leaf. You click on it, and now I have a leaf. And I can set it, well, I think that's big enough. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And I got it bigger. And I'm just going to hold it down. It's set up to spray. Oh, I goofed. I'm on the wrong layer. Control Z. Click here, add a layer. Just click and drag. And then I'll just do that to get the darker ones. It's flipping the background in the foreground. And there, I got that. Now, it looks a little boring, so let's add some grass. See, I'm just keeping the same color. And I just go like this. And this one's set up for variants, which you can set up, but I'm not going to do that. That's how you do it. And if you make a mistake, because it's in layers, I can go in here and I can just erase. Alright, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. It's just the basic drawing stuff.